Well, you know, I remember a couple of years ago, after All Stars 2, I made a post on Tumblr that was like, an all-winner season with a talent show as the first challenge would be a bad idea because some of these winners either have no traditional talents or would just do comedy and it wouldn't really be a diverse episode. Obviously, back then I did not know that just lip syncing and dancing in a way that Femme Fatale 2 or Britney would outdance you is considered Marvel's groundbreaking talent, but I was right. This was maybe one of the worst and most boring variety/talent shows. The results, I'm not even going to talk about them. The queens themselves said during the episode that the twist basically makes the rest of the competition null and void, and it's kind of unnerving. There was no need for this twist, we all know why it was there, but today we're here to talk about who should win All Star 7. Jinkx Monsoon, Monét X Change, Shea Couleé, or Trinity the Tuck. But before we do that, I just want to give a special shout out to my new supporters on Patreon. Taylor Mayzes, CT, and Kylie Tran. Thank you for joining and helping me out. I've written the rest of the Heroes vs Villains videos, now I just have to make them all. So if you want to see those before everyone else, you know what to do. Also, I have to do this now because YouTube's been very weird lately, and since I was finishing uni, I just haven't had the time to make as many videos as I'd wanted. So if you enjoy what I do here, consider subscribing, liking the video, and commenting for engagement. Thank you. So usually when I do these videos of who should win a certain season, I go through 3 categories. 1. Best track record by the end. 2. Most dominant queen in the competition, aka top of the competition, but I'm not going through the trauma of that name ever again. And 3. Best storyline. People ask me to include the category of who the fans want to win, but I still stand behind saying that shouldn't matter. The season was filmed 75 years ago. Nothing that fans do online can change the outcome of episode 1, episode 2, till episode 11, so I don't think it should either affect the ultimate episode of the season. Plus, and no offense guys, but I do sometimes trust previous seasons' RuPaul's judgment more than some teenagers that have too much time on their hands. So yeah, fan vote, I don't care about that. Let's go over these 3 categories. Obviously, a fair amount of the final decision will be based solely on how these queens will do in the finale, in those lip syncs. So the previous 11 episodes could mean absolutely nothing. However, let's still pretend that Drag Race is a competition and not a publicity stunt. Let's rank the top 4 queens based on their final scores, with this point system in place. Well, we find ourselves in a very interesting situation. 3 of the 4 queens in this top 4 have the same amount of points, and the one queen that has a different score is in the number 1 spot. That queen, of course, is Jinkx Monsoon. I think that we all knew it was going to be Jinkx, but don't think that the rest of the girls are that much far behind her. They're all at 44 points, and Jinkx won 2 mini challenges in this season, so if you discard those, she's only 2 points above everyone else. Does that mean that she was the most dominant queen in the season? Meaning, after each episode when we rank the queens based on their scores, was Jinkx the most times number 1? Well, let's see. 3 queens in this cast were top of the competition at one point or another, and luckily, all 3 are in this top 4. Monét is sadly the only one that never had the strongest track record. 2 were at the top of the competition in only 1 episode each, and the third one was the best competitor for 10 episodes straight. The first queen here is Trinity. I'm listing her before the other queens because Trinity shares her number 1 spot in episode 3 with another queen. The queen that had the 10 episode streak, and that queen is... well, Jinkx again. Are we surprised? I honestly am not. Who had the best storyline? Well, I've been saying for a couple of weeks now that Monét had the best storyline, and I still stand behind that. Monét, alongside Shea, for the longest time in the competition was the worst star-wise. But the thing is that she was never the worst track record-wise. She also never received favoritism in her critiques. She was always there in the episode organically. Even when she wasn't an important factor in an episode, she still got a pretty good edit, and she fought her way to the top. She did not complain whine and whine about it. Jinkx did not have any struggles in the competition, except for the design challenges, but she never overcame those, so that's kinda not a good story. Listen, I love a story of somebody dominating the season as the next one, but we've seen in the past couple of seasons that that's not something that Drag Race actually values. Trinity also had a good storyline. I'd say the second best, given that she was the one helping everybody in the competition. She overcame her past losses and hopefully finally proved to the fandom that the hate that she gets is completely unwarranted. I'm not saying that hating any queen is warranted, but people just really don't seem to like Trinity online. Shea's storyline was similar to Monét's, but nothing about it was really organic. I mentioned here and there during the power rankings that her critiques often would just be said to give her extra praise, even when sometimes they just factually were not true. And the editing around her was so clunky. You guys know that I don't read spoilers. I want to enjoy the show as it is airing and analyze and evaluate it as I watch it, but from the middle of the season, I just knew that they were going to do some sort of a twist in order to get her into the top 4. If Shea ends up winning the season, we can equate her edit to Erika's on Survivor 41. Sure, she won, and sure, the people that she's competing against are telling us that she's very good. And we know that, that's frustrating, but we cannot see that on the show, which is what matters at the end of the day. So yeah, Monét wins this category. Now, you might think that we're done here, but there is something else that we need to add now when looking at who should win a season. A new category. Ever since moving to VH1, Drag Race has been trying to mix up pretty much every season by adding a different twist. Some of those twists did help the show, like in season 9, where the lip sync for the crown was very necessary after everything in the season. All of the inconsequential lip syncs, all of the lip syncs where a queen gave up. I would argue that the voting twist in All-Star 6 was a very interesting change of format that I want to see stay. But then we also get the questionable lip sync assassins format. All of the nonsensical saves and twists that were added onto different seasons in order to benefit certain queens. Like the lip sync Lollapalooza that was added to save Valentina on All-Stars 4, or this twist here on All-Star 7 that was added to have Shea in the top 4. Hashtag justice for Jada. I'll do a separate video on why this twist made no sense, but why am I talking about all of these recent twists? Well, because it seems as though now the only box you have to check in order to win a season is, did you survive the twist? Did you beat it? Did you take advantage of it? Don't get me wrong, this is a very nice criteria. You basically test how well somebody can traverse an immediate problem. However, I don't think it should be the only factor. I'll explain why I think that for most recent seasons, it has been that. So in All Stars 4 we had 2 winners. Trinity, the one who did the best, and Monét, the one who did well at the exact time necessary not to be affected by the twist of the Lollapalooza, and then somebody who also never eliminated anybody, so the backlash of eliminating somebody as the winner of the episode never got to her, surviving the twist. On All Stars 5, even though Shea was neither the best competitor nor was she the protagonist of the season, she was the only one out of the top 3 to have beat all of the lip sync assassins, thus surviving the twist. Similarly, Kylie on All-Star 6 was neither the best, nor the protagonist, nor did she show the most growth, but she was the only queen that voted correctly every single week, meaning that whether she was the winner of the week or not, Kylie always voted for the queen that would end up being eliminated. On top of that, nobody ever voted against her on the season, so she doubly beat the twist. These kind of big twists usually appear on All-Star seasons, but they also happen on regular seasons. Obviously, on seasons 9, 10, 11, and 12, you literally win the season by beating the twist of lip-syncing for the crown. The similar thing happened on season 13. But with the added twist of the lip syncs in episode 1. We knew that nobody from the loser circle could win the season, so the story checks out. Lastly, there were 2 major twists in season 14, the chocolate twist and the lip sync after Snatch Game twist. The latter is more interesting, given that you might say that only Jasmine lost to that twist. But no, everybody who did not win in the first round lost a lip sync, technically, which on a regular season basically disqualifies you from winning. So really, the only queens that survived that twist were Daya, Willow, and Georges. Deja, of course, too, but she was so purpled in the competition we can't even talk about her. Daya lost a lip sync previously in the season, disqualifying her from winning, and Georges did not even make it into the finale. So Willow was the clear winner of the season from that episode onwards. Plus, Willow did not need the chocolate to save her. Thus, she also beat that twist. So, what were the twists for All-Star 7? Well, nobody going home, of course, but the only way you could go home is by, Bendelacrumming yourself out of the competition, which, why? Nobody's gonna do that, so we're ignoring that one. But then, more important ones are the top 2 twist, the blocking twist, the awarding stars twist that happened in episodes 5 and 6, and the 3 stars twist. Regarding the first twist, the top 2 twist, Shea takes the win on this one, because she won both of her top 2 lip syncs. Jinkx is in the second place, because she won 3 out of 5, and Monét and Trinity are tied again, but Monét beat Jinkx in a lip sync, so Monét's third. The blocking twist. Shea again wins this one, because the one time that she was able to block someone, she blocked correctly, and nobody ever blocked her correctly. Jinkx got it right half the time, Trinity and Monét never, plus Trinity was a victim of blocking, so the ranking is the same as for the previous subcategory. Next is the awarding stars twist. Neither Evie nor Jada ended up being in the finale top 4, however, Jinkx also was not screwed over for her decision in episode 6, so Jinkx gets a slight advantage here. Lastly, Shea and Monét obviously are the only two that took advantage of the twist in episode 11, so they're the obvious 2 winners there. So, who won the twist? Well, Shea. Jinkx is in the second place, Monét in the third, and Trinity in the fourth. Thus, who should win All-Star 7? Well, looking at the entirety of the season, it should be Jinkx Monsoon. She won the most categories, and even when we rank the queens in the categories, Jinkx ends up having the best score at the end. Oh wow. A tie between Trinity and Monét yet again. However, since Drag Race has been putting such a strong emphasis on winning the twists, don't be surprised if Shea ends up winning the season. It would also be kind of a full circle moment. Her losing a season in season 9 because of a necessary twist, to here, her winning this season and the previous season because of unnecessary twists. So it should be Jinkx, but it might be Shea. As always, I also asked my supporters on Patreon to share their opinions on the topic, asking them who they think should win the season. Aubergina starts by saying, I think Jinkx won the season when she played Judy Garland, and I'm at peace with that. Aside from that, I also think she has shown how much she has grown in the way of fashion, while also doing above and beyond in her comedy and acting. A true display of drag perfection. This is the track record they wish Shea had. Sorry. I'm supposed to be professional here. Max says, It's very strange to me that All-Stars contestants are standing in the finale, and all of them due to the episode 11 twist. Trinity makes sense. I'm also fine with Monét since she would be there without a twist too, but it would have been great to have another regular season winner in the top 4. Vivian or Raja would have really deserved it. But, once again, it's Jinkx Monsoon surrounded by 3 queens that can be grouped together, so let's just hope she wins. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that. It's again Jinkx versus a group of 3 queens. Many apologies, writes. I think Jinkx deserves to win because not only has she shown that season 5 wasn't a fluke, and that she did not only win because the season had mostly Comedy Central's challenges, as some people still claim she did, but after coming back from such a long hiatus, she has made so many more people fall in love with her without having to tear down other queens. She also has the most challenge wins in the season, which shows that she's versatile and isn't just a comedy queen, as well as being blocked the most, which shows that the others clearly saw her as a threat. Although, in my opinion, Jinkx should win, there's also a lot of other points that can be put towards the other queens, such as Monét, having a clear strategy that brought her to the finale and doing well in almost every challenge. Trinity having her redemption after the roast, showing that she has changed after the She-Devil by Night controversy, and she has the most wins of any queen overall. Then Shea keeping her head held high and not breaking down or giving up, even though she thought her chances were gone for the finale, and having such fierce runways. I still think about that sunflower look from the light runway. By the way, so do I. Now, who I think will win is either Shea or Jinkx because they're such great lip syncers, and having the underdog versus the queen with the most wins at the end would let production have a clear choice of how they wanna end the season. But I'm happy for any of the top 4 to win. Isidro Perez says, "My honest personal opinion, I believe Monét will take the crown. Sue me, but I think she has the best story out of the 4. She came into the competition where her win was invalidated by the fans because of the Twinner season. I'm still not over All-Stars 4, and proved at the very first episode that she did not come to play. After that, she made an alliance with Trinity, which proved as a smart pick throughout the competition, and was able to prove she's a well-rounded queen throughout the season, showing that there is a reason why she won her All-Star season, whereas we expected Jinkx, Shea, and Trinity to dominate this competition. I'm not trying to discredit their accomplishments throughout the competition, by the way. More than likely, though, it is probably going towards Jinkx, because everyone loves Jinkx, including myself. But I'm interested how the lip syncs will unfold, because I wonder if production will just flat out push Jinkx towards a win, or will she actually have to work for it? My guess is that they will favor it in Jinx's way." Everybody that voted on Patreon said that it was going to be either Jinkx or Monét. And that's it. That's the video. Who do you guys think should win the season? Who do you want to win the season? Personally, Jinkx is my favorite winner competing, so I want her to win. But I would be very okay and quite glad with either Trinity or Monét taking the crown. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.